so we can see our comments. Okay, 1 second.
This way so my hair isn't sticking up.
That's too long.
I'm gonna fix Ryan's on Saturday.
I got my hair cut today. So.
Did you go somewhere?
I bought clippers, and someone was courageous enough to cut my hair. So.
Oh, that's nice.
Just have to get to this post.
I look taller than you. Picture.
Come on.
Now, will we see the post?
Yes, I just have to go and put them live. That's what I'm doing right now. Just
so
have
do I
to
click on that live comments or private chat?
live comments. Live comments. I have to wait for this to load up. It's going a little slow.
I feel like Mom and Dad are going to completely spam us. I'm like, if you mention anything about my gray, it's over.
Oh, comments are already coming up, guys. Can somebody just make a comment real quick? If
I see.
I can see them. Yeah.
Rich, can you give me another one? Just a thumbs up or something, so we can make sure that.
It says live in your little thing on the top.
Yeah, I just have to make sure that I'm getting the thing. I just want to make sure it's public. 1 second. Where was that?
Carmen's giving a smiley face.
Okay. So Carmen, you can hear us, and you can.
Go Eagles.
Okay, great. All right, so that means that we're getting live comments. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Portraits of Faith, a NFL draft edition of the Portraits of Faith. I know the NFL draft just went live. Thank you for spending it with us. Really appreciate it. I am Father Rob Sinatra, as you may well know. I'm the pastor of St. Padre Pio Parish. And so, okay, great. So we're definitely doing the comments. Did I use the same clippers as Batman? No, I did not. No, I did not. So, what we're doing is what we're going to do is we're opening this up to family and friends, parishioners, you name it, to just talk about faith. Like we a while ago, a little bit. Was it over a year yet, or no? It's not quite a year. We had the convocation for lay leaders, and so what it talked about was having, like, the most important thing about having people share their story and to get to know about their faith, and to see that our friends and neighbors are not that different from us and can give us, some wonderful insights about their relationship with God and maybe help us to do the same. So I figured my first guests / victims, I could lean on my family. So I'm very happy to have with us today, sharing with us today, my sister, Kathy O'Callaghan, and her lovely brother, her lovely husband, my brother-in-law / brother. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah, that would be a little freaky.
A little weird. Who's been super kind to me and a seamless part of our family, Mike O'Callaghan. So, guys, welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having us. We never say no.
Yeah, here's how we get into a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we never say no. Well, you've been very good to us, so we're always happy to help.
It does help when you can like bring mass with you, no matter where you go. So.
Yeah, it was very helpful when I had cancer.
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Yes, mass.
And it's kind of interesting. Mike had cancer of the tonsils. How long ago was that, Mike? At this point,
6 years that I was diagnosed. I'm 5 years clean.
Okay, so what happened when he was really, really sick, and he's just like, Robbie, can you bring me communion? And I was more than happy to do that. And then on the flip side, when I had heart surgery and I couldn't make it to mass, who was the first person who brought me communion but you? So turnabout was fair play, and it was really it was moving to me. It was a very beautiful moment. So
Just so
thank
people
you.
extraordinary minister, so it wasn't hit it and we walked out of mass.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a
So
little bit.
so let me just ask you, if you can remember, what was your earliest memories of your faith life? Can you guys talk about that a little bit?
You said it earlier. I started thinking about it, and I don't remember ever not having it. Like as a little kid, we always went to church, never missed mass. So I can even remember we moved somewhere. My father worked weekends. We got the last Friday mass, and we go to walk on my last Sunday mass, 7 o'clock. Go to walk in. I look at the sign. It says it's Spanish. I go, oh wow. My dad turns around and says, "Still mass. Get in there." And we just always did. It just was kind of the way it was from day one. And there's not like all of a sudden something clicked. It was always there.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably say, I mean, the same, but probably in grade school, grammar school, having the sisters instruct us in the faith, as well as our parents. But
Mm-hmm.
I definitely remember, all the May processions and all the great things you do in grammar school.
That's an amazing thing because like we all have, well, Kathy, you and I, understand a little bit better because we grew up together. That Mike, is so true that faith is just something like for families that practice it all the time. It was never something that we didn't do. Mike, did you and your family pray grace before meals or anything like that, or
Every meal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like,
don't forget, my aunt's a nun. I mean, one of the funny stories was she used to come, once or twice a year and spend some time with us on a break. And one day she didn't have her habit on, and I go to my dad. Did she get kicked out or something? I was a kid, I was like 10 years old, and he just starts laughing. And he's like, "No, that's what she could do that when she's not working." I'm like, well, I guess she works a lot.
Mhm. So, was there a priest ever growing up that had an important impact on your life that you can remember, that really touched you in terms of your faith life?
Other than you?
Other than me. Other than me.
Other than you.
As an individual, from a faith, no, but my aunt's husband, my aunt is my father's sister. Her husband, I think his cousin, Father Dan. He spent a lot of time at family events and stuff, and I always thought it was so cool how he was just a cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't, like you go to church and they kind of look, they're all dressed and and they kind of look different, And then we used to do vacations once in a while, and he'd come on them, and it was just a cool guy. It just another guy.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't, really feel, and it kind of made you feel like, okay, they're just people, and that's just their job, and you could kind of relate a little bit better from that perspective. But it wasn't like we had a lot of religious conversations or anything. It was just kind of feeling, he could do mass for us and stuff, but it wasn't.
I remember in grade school, our pastor, Monsignor Heron, just being very, very kind and
Mm-hmm.
caring. And so you could see the love that was, so important in our faith. Like he really brought that home, like love and caring. And I just remember him coming into the classrooms and talking to us and being a very positive person.
And his chihuahuas. Remember his chihuahuas?
I don't. Chihuahuas?
He had little dogs. Yeah, he had little chihuahua dogs.
I don't remember that. I remember him coming into school.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what was some of the things that were important to you about your faith life growing up? Was there any activity that was kind of important to you growing up in terms of your faith, other than like attending mass or anything like that?
I remember a lot of extra things that we did that were connected with the school. Like I remember Holy Thursday, all the students would dress in uniform. Remember that, Rob? And we'd go around
Yeah.
in procession. Like now the altar servers do it, but I remember all the students got to do that, and that was a special treat. Like I remember all the special masses that we went to and participated in through the grade school, through St. Pete's.
Now, Mike, you guys moved around a lot. Were you connected with a Catholic school at any time, or did you guys go to public school a lot?
I went to Catholic school first grade. My older sisters went through second and third, and then when we moved, then we started doing CCD instead. Um, I went to the Catholic school in New York City, so the school was 2 blocks away. My mother walked us to school. She walked us home for lunch, walked us back. There was probably another school 4 blocks the other way. It was back then they were really close. So, and then when we moved to Delaware, there wasn't a Catholic school close by in Florida. And when I moved to Browns Mills, the nearest Catholic school was Holy Cross. High school was Holy Cross. So we did not go. My mother didn't even drive until my older sister was almost 17. She grew up in the city, so it was pretty much my dad. My grandfather lived with us for a number of years, and he drove too, but we didn't.
Okay. So oftentimes in college can be a seminal moment in the life of people's faith. That's kind of like their first moment really away from home, first where like mom and dad aren't on top of you to go to church. It's a decision that you have to kind of either make on your own or not make. So did you guys have any struggles when you guys went to college or anything like that about living out your faith and practicing it?
I didn't.
No.
But I would tell you, almost all of my friends in my dorm were Catholic and went to church too. So we did it as a group. And it didn't hurt. My sister also, my oldest sister was 2 years older than me, went to the same school. So we had an extremely dynamic pastor. There was Father Nolan then, he's Monsignor Nolan now. And he was you saw him all week long around the campus. He got to know everybody. His homilies were awesome. So you wanted to go. In fact, some of my friends who weren't even Catholic would come to Mass with us because he was such a great, because he was such a great speaker and he related so well to us.
Sorry, I have the ability to flash up comments. So
Did I do something? I didn't feel like I did something.
Yeah, no, I had the same thing where everybody just went. So it was easy. It wasn't a chore at all.
Well, it's interesting. Rich, and I'll probably bring Rich on too as my deacon. Rich really didn't become involved with faith until he got married, and his story is kind of unique too. We'll have him on and to talk about that. Were there any dark periods or big time struggles in your faith life that you're willing to share with the 20 odd some people who are watching right now?
Gosh, we're boring.
I
We're
don't
boring.
think so.
No, I can't. I'm sorry.
It's funny because like when times got tough, I think we got closer to the faith, not further. We learned more and kind of trusted in it. But I don't remember. Yeah, I guess it's always been a part of your life, and you just don't, probably take it for granted a little bit more than we should. But it's just always there, and I'm sure it's sometimes we're closer than others. But we go away, we make sure we do Mass. My whole life I've said night prayers. I've done it my whole life. I still do it.
Yeah.
It's just part of it's kind of like waking up and getting a shower. It's just part of what you do every day.
What are your night prayers, Mike? If you don't mind me asking.
I just have a whole litany of stuff that I've been doing since I was a kid. My mother started them with us, and I continue with it. Our Father, Hail Mary, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Kathy, do you still do our family prayer?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
for those that don't know, like every night before we went to bed when we were kids, it was God bless mommy and daddy and Frankie and Robbie. God bless Kathy. Thank you for the food we have and the house we live in. Amen. And that was our prayer, like every night for like forever, ad infinitum. So I'm sure you include like your each other, your kids, all that stuff.
It's a
So
little. No, I mean,
hey, do you guys pray? Go ahead, Kathy. I'm sorry.
no, go ahead.
Do you guys pray together?
Occasionally, but not a
Not a
lot.
lot.
And what was the what happened?
Sometimes we do the rosary together.
Yeah, what happened?
Mm-hmm.
At school? It happened, you said it to Jen. We couldn't. We were all upset. What was it?
When Joan died?
When
When Joan died?
No. It was something because Jen Maurice made the comment, said that we all did the rosary together.
Yeah, a lot of times, like in dark times, we'll all come together and pray the rosary.
Mm.
I don't remember what that was.
We've done that.
When what?
I just said we pray the rosary together. Not as much as we should. Not as much as we should. I know one time when Ryan was little, we've never prayed like in a restaurant. We hadn't done that. And so when Ryan, our youngest, was in kindergarten, he's in high school now, we were at a restaurant and we were about to eat, and he cut us to the quick and he said, shouldn't we give thanks to God for what we have? Like, yes, we should. So now every time we pray, grace before meals, no matter where we are.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we learn from our kids.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is nice. It's not just one way.
I always talk to the kids at the school that they can actually have an influence on their parents, because
Sure.
if their faith is important to them, parents will help support them in that, and that it can be important to moms and dads too. So it's an important thing.
Yeah.
So I guess, Mike, I don't know if it's the same for you, but I know for Kathy and I, like, we grew up in one parish for really our whole entire lives. Kathy, you're still in the parish, for goodness sake.
Mhm.
For almost half a century at this point.
Thanks for bringing that
No,
up.
no problem. That's what I'm here for, Kath, to help you with that. So being grounded in a parish, and Mike, you're part of the parish now too. What's it like to be a part of like a parish community for you guys? To have a church that you can call your own.
Well, it's funny because St. Pete's is the parish that I've been at the longest in my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, as a kid, it was very different. And then, as an adult, when I went on my own, I would call it church shopping or mass shopping.
Mm-hmm.
I literally had 3 Catholic churches almost exactly the same distance from me. And I would pick and choose whose mass was more convenient for me in that particular weekend. I didn't really feel. Well, technically, one was my parish. I was registered there, but the other 2 that I would go to were more at a convenience. And even growing up as a kid, we lived right by Fort Dix. We had the parish St. Mary's that I'm sorry, St. Anne's that we were members of, but Fort Dix was right there, and it was open back then. So I would go to mass at Fort Dix more than I did at St. Anne's because they had a 5 o'clock Saturday mass.
Mm-hmm.
And that well for me as a young guy, I could go to mass, come home, have dinner, and go out with my friends that night, and didn't have to get up Sunday morning. So when we started dating, I started going to St. Pete's, and I really felt different there. I felt more welcomed. A lot of it had to do with the Knights of Columbus. I mean, they were like heat-seeking missiles trying to get another member, but it wasn't just, get them to sign up and then move on. It was really, be involved in stuff and, as little or as much as you want. And it's been a really good relationship for me.
I think it's just nice being part of it's like being home,
Hmm.
like being home. Just a great comfort where you know everyone and everyone knows you and you can worship in peace. I don't know. It's just
Yeah,
nice.
it's just interesting as much as this is a wonderful community, and I am very much at home here. The only place that feels exactly the same way is St. Peter's. Like
Right.
when I go on the altar, like when you go to a different church, sometimes you get a little like you get a little wary, like about where things are, how things are going to go. The only place that I'm never anxious celebrating Mass, other than being here at Padre Pio,
Mhm.
is at St. Peter's,
Right.
because it's just like it's like puzzle pieces that fit. Like when you belong to a community like here in Vineland, like you just fit. You fit. It just feels right. It's there's good stuff. Is there crazy stuff? Of course, but there's crazy stuff everywhere, right? But and we have our share of crazy in Merchantville too, as we could probably tell. Um, and but it just having a place to call your own
Yeah.
just fits.
And there's just a
Um,
lot. You just get a lot of support, when you're at a place for a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of
mhm.
support from
I
family
think,
and friends and
I think the comfort,
parishioners.
just the comfort.
Mhm.
You're not worried about, pretty much anything. You're just there. You go to church and you're going to see friends. No matter what mass you go to, no matter what time. Um,
It's just
it's
nice
actually
being
hard
part
when
of
you're in a rush.
part of a
Because
community. It's
yeah,
just
because
nice.
it's hard to get out of there sometimes.
Mhm.
There's a lot of times before the quarantine, we go to the 9 o'clock mass. There's a lot of times you could tell when the priest was trying to usher us out. We weren't the only ones, but standing there talking, and then you finish in the parking lot because 10:30 started to come in.
Right. But that's how you're supposed to pray. Right. It's part of a community. That's what
Mhm.
makes it.
That's why I moved my 10:30 Mass to 11, because it was just like it was so close. I'm like, I can't. We got 9 o'clock Mass, and people are talking, and okay, we 1 second.
St. Peter's is in Merchantville.
Yeah, Merchantville. It's on 43 West Maple Avenue in Merchantville, New Jersey.
Very good.
08109.
Yeah.
So uh, yeah, like that's why, like I said, I moved my 10:30 to 11 o'clock, because it's just like there's, even if you have something little, it's just like you feel bad like trying to kick people out and get people in for the next time around. So
Yeah, it always amazes me when we're down the shore and you go and you'll see they have a mass every hour and it's packed. And they get, not only do they get the parking lot cleaned out and everyone out, and then for the next mass they start everything on time.
Yeah.
mhm.
Well, everyone's going to the beach. Everyone's getting to the beach.
Well, also too that I did a mass at Maristella, or now St. Brendan the Navigator in Avalon, and the pastor told me, okay, preach 5 minutes and let's get in and out, like, because your mass has to be 40 minutes so that you have 20 minutes to get people out and back in for the next mass on the top of the hour. And I have to say, it was probably one of the most stressful liturgical experiences of my whole entire life. Right? You're just like,
Right.
so
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we don't think about it from that perspective of, we're on the other side,
mhm.
so you don't know what you're going to get when you get there, and you just deal with whatever you get. I don't have to worry about, something's happening behind it.
So how have you guys been dealing with everything that's going on with quarantine, the coronavirus, the inability to actually physically be present and connected with the community for faith and for celebrating? How have you guys? How's that affected you guys?
Uh, well, we still
It's
do
hard.
mass.
It's
We
hard.
stream mass. Um, it's 9 o'clock mass was 9:17. Because you kind of start whenever you want, but we try to stay somewhat close to what we were doing before.
Yeah.
Breakfast together. Hey, Mike Kushner. Hello. Um,
Hey, Mike.
um,
In some ways, it's better in terms of there's so much content that's out there.
that's true.
You know, there's so many more ways that, you know, you can pray, and podcasts and YouTube videos. And there's so much out there, which is really, really great.
Which
So
we
I've
had no
really
idea
enjoyed
before.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
We had no idea. And probably some of it was there before. We just didn't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, you know, I'm making a daily mass, which is great, you know, online, but not the same. But
Who are you watching? Who are you watching?
Bishop Barron. Bishop
That
Barron.
that's from Word on Fire, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
Sundays we do rotate.
We do. Yeah. We spread it around.
We do Father Tim.
We'll do you. Yeah. We do
Bishop Barron. We did
Bishop Galante.
we did the sales. You know, because our oldest Chris did the sales. We did mass out there, just to kind of keep it all, you know, not normal, but you know, everybody keeps their connections.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What are some of the resources that you're doing, like podcasts and things like that, that are feeding you and your faith right now, that you'd like to share, that you didn't know about before, or were using beforehand, but are leaning and on more heavily on right now?
Oh, Word on Fire, definitely for me. For me,
other than reaching out, you know, to like the sale, you know, doing mass for the sales, doing your mass, doing different masses. One we did your associates one, Father Al one.
Mm-hmm.
I started. I never had an Instagram account before, so I joined or signed up, whatever, for Instagram. There's a lot of great. I'm getting. What am I getting? Like Bible quotes every day. There's like a Bible quotes online. Like the diocese has a lot of great content that they send out every day.
In fact, I didn't know it, but they had a live stream tonight at 8:00. I'm like, I'm always competing with the diocese. I don't mean to do that. I'm trying to be a good soldier. I'm trying to get content out there. I don't mean to fight against the diocese. So it's just like, I'm like, and join us tonight at 8 p.m. I'm like, not again.
Man, you can't win.
Mike Walsh yelled at me one time. It's like, well, Father Goyette and I were doing a podcast, a live stream like this. It's like, you guys are killing me.
There's a Saint of the Day that I'm getting on Instagram. That's really great. That has a lot of great content.
So Bishop Thomas, yeah, who was originally from this area.
Okay.
Oh, really?
And he was bishop for a long time in the Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, and now he's back in stateside. So,
Okay.
Did he do a mission several years ago?
he might have. Father Anthony. He's friends with Father Anthony Matapella, and would have brought him in. So,
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think there's so much wonderful Catholic content out there. I'm definitely getting more now than I did before. A lot of time to read, so.
Hey, have you guys read any good books or anything that would be helpful?
No, I haven't really done any.
I've actually been busier now work-wise than I was before.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've actually been working a lot more.
Yeah.
Well, we were joking about this, and because I was going to ask the question, how has your life changed? My brother-in-law has been working remotely since September. He's like, nothing. My day actually. I just make breakfast for the family now. That's his big because of coronavirus.
Yeah, college students.
Chris doesn't get up.
If we see him at 3 o'clock, that's early.
Usually, I knock on his door to make sure he's alive, but he doesn't get up for breakfast. But Mary Kate and Ryan will come down, but they usually make their own. Because they usually wander in after we're eating.
Yeah, but I'll make them.
You'll make it and they just warm it up.
My nephew Chris goes to DeSales, and that's why they watch the DeSales stream sometimes, because these are the priests that Chris is interacting with as he goes to school.
Yeah, they're great. They're really great priests. The patron saint of parents with twin boys.
I don't even know if mom and dad. I told mom and dad about about coming on, and I don't know if they're going to do it or not. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. I was like, don't spam me or mention anything about my hair.
Actually, your hair looks good.
Oh, well, I'm tilting back a lot. So.
Okay. Yeah, I can only imagine people's roots are starting to show a little bit, or
It's not pretty. Not pretty. St. Diane Sinatra pretty for us. Yes. Oh, he's so funny.
We were talking about Mike's a friend, a family friend, and every once in a while we'll have those moments. They'll turn to me, Robbie. Mike Kushner is absolutely hysterical. He's got a lot of funny stuff on his Facebook page. He does. So just wanted to open it up to anybody. If anybody had any questions for Kathy and Mike or me, we can try and answer them as best we can. So just wanted to see if anybody had any questions or wanted to share anything about their faith life or their struggles. If something that we talked about resonated, or if they have their own story to tell.
That's what Bob says.
When she gets desperate, she'll try.
Yeah, I'm afraid my hairdresser's going to yell at me when this is all over. We'll see. We'll see. I think there's a powder you can put in. How did you get a haircut, Father? Yeah. Yeah. It's good to be the king, Mike. It's good to be the king.
I bought clippers, and someone courageously cut my hair, so they did a not bad job.
Were they 6 feet away?
Yeah.
Probably not.
No.
Yeah.
Did she face shield?
Well, I did. I said, would you feel comfortable? Did you want me to wear a mask? Did you want to wear a mask? And she's like, no, but we're okay. I'm like, okay.
Full body suit.
Yeah, I'm getting close. Yeah. I'm getting close to the point where she's going to have to cut mine.
Yeah. I have clippers.
Yeah, this is getting uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm. Well, our seminarian got his hair cut too, and I thought he had a hair helmet. But man, he had 5 times the hair I did on the floor. I'll tell you that. Wow. So here's a question. Reading suggestions for devotion throughout the year. If anybody has anything that they would like to share. Do you guys have anything?
I do. I subscribe to the Give Us This Day, which is a really nice publication that you get every month. So then every day there's an explanation. Yeah, no. You get the daily readings, and then commentary on the gospel, and then every day they talk about a saint, like the saint of the day, and they give a little biography of the saint of the day. So that's a really nice thing, and it doesn't take a long time to read. So it's for the day, and then a gospel reflection, and then the saint of the day. So that's really nice.
I'm going to share my screen for a sec. Hold on, and the entire screen. Okay, one of the things that I like to use is this. This is Padre Pio's Spiritual Direction Every Day. You can find it on, as you can see, Amazon.com. It's really, really great. 365 days a year. They actually have. Let me see. Stop screen. They have reflections every day, and there are vignettes, and they're directly from his letters. So, and they've been translated into English, and it is absolutely wonderful. It's what I use for the novena that we just had actually tonight at 7:00.
Nice.
So, but that's also really, really, really good, and they're not long, and they're very, very poignant.
Yeah. We did watch the Bible series.
Yes.
Holy Week. We watched the Bible series. But yeah, oh good. Thanks, Mike. So that was nice. Kind of a lead up to Easter, to the Triduum.
But didn't you say you had one critique of the Bible series?
Had their throats cut in every scene. Everyone was being murdered. A lot of that. It was a little violent for me. They were violent people. Violent people.
And also another thing too that people can use, if I still have it on my desk, I thought I did. You can buy what's called a shorter Christian prayer, and it's just it helps you do the the liturgy of the hours, but a very very simplified version of it. And that's good for like daily devotions and prayers, and they don't take that long to pray. They really don't take that long to pray.
I tried the iBreviary. That one's a little bit cumbersome. That
Yeah.
one's a little hard to do by yourself, I think.
Yeah, because that's actually the actual liturgy of the hours, this
Right.
in digital form, and if you don't know the rhythm of it, like it's hard to pray it. So like shorter Christian prayer. My desk is a nightmare, and my desk is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how
that
his
wouldn't
bedroom
surprise
was
us
too.
at all.
Yeah, we're not shocked. Not at all.
So, but shorter Christian prayer is a much more simplified version of that, so it might help a little bit.
Just anything to keep you grounded.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, another one. Wait, let me find it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Probably on the night table.
So,
I forgot. Here's one more. Here's one more. It's Jesus Calling. This is nice. So it had every day. It's just a daily devotion, that you can, read and, in
Mhm.
2 minutes, and, keeps you focused and, on the Lord. So this is a nice one too. And
Carmen uses Magnificat. Magnificat is really wonderful. The only issue that sometimes people have with that is Magnificat is little expensive, a little bit. So here's another question. Sherry asks, do you use a Bible with interpretation supplements too?
I have not.
Yeah.
No, I've not.
There is a new, I don't know if it's out yet. Oh, hang on one second. Mom is asking, how do you comment?
Don't tell her. You can't. No comments.
Was she texting you?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Just write something in the status portion.
This might get crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna get crazy.
We might have to do technical support.
There's. I didn't even know how to use this thing before I.
Yeah, well, go ahead.
Well, one of the things, when I was in the seminary, they were talking about this, and I think it's published, but the New Jerusalem Bible had a supplement along with it that, yeah, my mom is on Facebook. Yes, she is. Oh, she has to open the chat first. Mommy, you have to open the chat first if you're watching. Michael, I don't know if you want to help facilitate that. You can help Mama San get on. That it has as part of what you would call the apparatus criticus, which is the thing underneath your Bible passages that show you where references are from. There's a companion book that has the writings of the early church fathers. Where is that? And your father lost the whole page.
That would have been useful for me to have in college.
That's
I think
hilarious.
the Bible is literature.
That is hilarious. I love it. Pull her up on FaceTime or something on your phone.
Okay. Maybe we can do that. We'll do that. Hang on. No, sorry.
Did he lose the whole thing?
I don't know what he did. We're going to see if we can FaceTime Mommy. See, she'll FaceTime with us.
Okay, we have it.
Okay, Mommy, hold on one second. Here you go.
You are live.
Oh, you're live.
Hey, Mom.
Hello. And your hair looks good, Kat. You're okay.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Hang on, let me put the microphone up to you. Do you have a comment, Mom?
No, I think it's very nice. Very nice.
That looks good. That's all we need to know.
You're gonna get feedback, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think it's very nice.
Oh, you guys are here you're here in delay now, is what is happening, because Dad has it back up. So click on the chat itself and you can write things on it.
Whatever.
We'll figure it out for next time, Mom, okay?
Yeah, just listen. We listen.
All right, you're just listening. We love you, Mom.
Yeah, I love you too.
All right, bye-bye.
That was awesome.
So, Rich, oh, you're using the Catholic Study Bible. I have a copy of that. Hold on one sec. Unless I lent it out. I have somebody in my parish who's doing research. And I lent it out. But there's a thing called the Catholic Study Bible, and it's a big, big blue Bible. It's the New American Bible, and it does have a lot of background material. You can also, even though a lot of times people are a little bit critical of him, Raymond Brown, as a scripture scholar, is okay. He's okay. He has an introduction to the Old Testament and an introduction to the New Testament. And there's some interesting things too. There's also, and this is his seminal work. There is the Jerome Biblical Commentary, which is gigantic, and it's a little bit more on the technical side.
Mhm.
I would see, if you want a little bit more spiritual stuff, see if you can get some things. I know St. Thomas Aquinas also has a commentary on sacred scripture. That's pretty good. I also use from Navarre, the University of Navarre, the Navarre Bible Commentary. Those are very, very good. They're over here. The bishop gave us some new commentaries that are actually pretty good. But there's a lot of stuff out there. Remember, there's a lot of crazy stuff out there, but there's a lot of good stuff out there too. And maybe we can get
Raymond Brown also wrote the Adult Christ at Christmas.
yeah, it is actually called the Catholic Study Bible. And Navarre is actually Opus Dei, and that's actually pretty good too. And that's actually very accessible. And you can get one for each gospel, for the Pentateuch, for the Psalms. They're very, very accessible.
Oh.
We have liftoff.
Good job. We're proud of you. Proud of you.
And now my mom can comment on everything that I put up.
Which is why I'm going to be quiet for a while.
Let's bring it.
Hey, Georgiana. Okay. We can't see what that is. What is that a particular
Yeah. You can't tell what it is though.
Oh, and there's Felicia, my friend Felicia. Oh, it has a good one by Jeff Cavins. Jeff Cavins, The Great Adventure Bible. Jeff Cavins is an excellent scripture scholar. He's very accessible. He's a good speaker. It's a brave new world. My mom and dad can figure out technology, so that's great. That's great.
Exciting. That's exciting.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Maybe there's something up here a little bit higher. All right, I'll figure it out. Let's see. No, I can't do that. Don't want to do that. All right.
We've also had a lot of nice family time
Yeah.
Oh, good.
during the
So what?
and that's
So what are you guys
important.
doing as a family? Praying and have you done any praying as a family during all of this?
Other than mass, no.
No, just mass. Just
So,
mass.
so what's your family time like though? What is that? Because I mean that's an extension. Remember, this whole concept is what it's like as a domestic church. For people who don't know, Pope Saint John Paul II, and he had an apostolic exhortation, and those are big things. Those are big papal documents that are meant to have some weight to them and are definitive teaching and are meant for on a specific topic. So he wrote one called Familiaris Consortio, which is this exhortation on the family. And in it, he talks about a lot of things about faith life and the family. And one of the things in particular he's talking about is the domestic church. That the family is to the domestic church and the building block of society. So that as the family goes, so goes society and the church. So so how are you been spending family time together? What are some of the things you're doing?
When now that Chris is home for college, we have the whole family for dinner every night. And
Which is
even
awesome.
before, with just the four of us, Mary Kate and Ryan, yeah, they had their activities and stuff. So it was really hard to get dinner together without it particularly being like,
Rush.
somebody scarfing something down and running out the door to get somebody somewhere or go somewhere. But now we've had dinner every night.
Every night.
There's a lot of laughing and joking and a lot better communication because of it.
Oh yeah. Like Chris is almost 20. So I've spoken more to him in the past 6 weeks than I have in the past 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Teenage, I don't know, where the guy like a lot of grunting and I don't know what.
Or one word answers. Chris, how you doing? Fine.
Good. No. But it's nice. It's really nice. There's that, Rich. There's that.
We haven't had that as much as a little bit with the kids, but not a lot. I mean, they've done a good job of spending time together without getting on each other's nerves. And
we've done a lot of baking together, which is really hilarious. Chris made this Oreo pie. We're all excited.
That's for tonight.
Is the we get to eat it tonight. Chris made something.
Yeah.
Wow.
He made churros. Yeah. He made churros too.
Yeah, but Mary Kate really did.
Mary Kate, they worked together.
Well, didn't he have to make churros for a Spanish class or something?
That's how we tried to get.
He did. We called him the Churro King for like 6 years. But yeah, no, it was fun. We played Mexican music on Amazon. Yeah. She made churros. It was really fun.
And we
we're
did
just
little
like goofy kind of kind of things. Do I deliver?
We've been playing.
We made bread. Mary Kate and I are playing making all kinds of breads and.
Mary Kate apparently my niece has turned into this unbelievable baker.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. We watched the Great British Baking Show, and
as a family.
Yeah, oddly captivating, and so yeah, that inspired us to start baking.
And we do for Christmas. I think it was Christmas. You gave me Hunter Killer. So we've been doing that as a family.
It's like a murder mystery.
Yeah, you get every month for 6 months. You get another box with evidence, and you got to figure it out. So we've been doing that. Our next
Are you close to finding the killer?
We have 2 boxes
left. 2 boxes left.
So each box you eliminate 1 or 2 people, and we've done that. So we're getting there. We've got the suspect list down. We've been we just finished the Jack Ryan series. We did that together.
That was good. Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, we've done a couple movies.
Yeah.
Weeknights are not. After dinner, they kind of they still have schoolwork to do. So they're kind of off doing their schoolwork and stuff. Last night we did a little bit, but the weekends are more like we're try to do something a little bit long. During the day they kind of do their thing a little bit.
Chris actually emptied the dishwasher today. Almost fell over on his own. on his own. Just emptied it.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are the two of you doing some things special for each other? Like any are you guys I would assume you guys are spending a lot more time together as husband and wife than you have been in the past. So
Actually, probably not much more because during the day she's downstairs working, I'm upstairs working, and other than that, we spend a lot of time together anyhow.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I
he
don't
makes
think
me breakfast every morning. That's
breakfast
nice.
is
I
I
clean
guess you
up.
could add that.
Yeah.
But we do a lot together, and we spend a lot of time together in our free time. So I don't think that's changed a whole lot.
No. Not too much.
And like I said, I'm up here in this room we're in now where I work, and she's down at the dining room table. So I'll wander down, get some more coffee or something, and we'll talk for a few minutes. But for the most part, that's not much different than what we would have done online or phone call. Um, it's actually after the workday. It's I
Other
don't
than
think we're
that,
spending much more time. It's just a little bit different
well,
time.
there's
The
no
kids are
more
around
events.
more.
There's no more events that we have
Right.
to
The
go
kids
to.
are around more.
Yeah.
We're not sitting at a swim meet or a track meet or
So sad.
or a play practice or something.
I'm not sad about that at all. I'm not sad.
but that's one of the things that I think are so important to realize is that families are now no longer inundated with all the craziness that's going on.
That's true.
That they're not running around. They're actually spending time with one another.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great gift. That's a great gift.
Yep.
By the way, Carmen said that the comment stream was shut off for a while. Are we still on? I mean, I know we're on. I know we have people watching us. Can people still comment? Can I just get a thumbs up or?
3 minutes.
Yeah. You better call mom.
Yeah.
IT support.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right,
Yeah.
so mom's there. Okay.
Can always count on mom to bail you out.
Absolutely. Hey, does anybody have any other questions? Anything else that they would like to ask Kathy and Mike, or me, or just us collectively, or open it up to the group? Any other questions?
I miss not having a congregation. Yeah.
It is Rich is my deacon, if you didn't know, and been a great gift. He and his wife Janet, and it's kind of awesome. Like from my perspective in all of this, the people have been really good to the priests and reaching out to us to making sure that we're okay. They're feeding us like once a week at least. I get a meal. They're like, Father, we want to drop off food, or we want to have you order from one of the local places to help support them and feed and take care of us, which has been really a great blessing. So but it's hard. Like for me, I know at least when if you take a look as part of the stream, like I see how many people are on, and even though there's nobody in the pews, and we only have like a server or
I'm his sister.
yes, and Mike's my brother-in-law. So that guy. So and like I feel connected with the people who are on. Okay, you have a question about last rites. Go ahead.
Oh,
David.
I would not be up here if you did that.
David.
I boycott.
Oh.
David's one of my friends from the Canon Law Society of America conference. He's a priest and part of a religious community. David, we'll talk when we get to St. Louis.
David, not good. Not good, David.
I have taught my kids to root for the Eagles and whoever plays Dallas.
Yeah, it's a wrong comment here. Yes, thank you, Carmen. Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Well said.
So Sherry, I'm sure she's typing her question about last rites. So we will wait. We will wait.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would have worn Eagles jerseys. I mean, I don't have an Eagles jersey, but I have an Eagles shirt.
You could wear one of mine. It won't fit, but it'd be like wearing a dress. But
Yeah.
Oh, my poor buddy.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
as long as he doesn't root for the Cowboys, it's okay.
Wow. That's so
Come here, buddy.
My dad was a Giants fan. I can live with that.
No, it's wrong. It's wrong. That's wrong.
He was from New York.
Okay, those two. Oh, you were talking about the Yes. What about this time? Are you hoping will stay the same?
The slowed down society and everybody spending more time at home and with their family, and instead of running around like chickens with their head cut off.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So the question is the anointing of the sick still being performed, and what if someone who's extremely in our diocese and the way things are working right now, we are allowed to anoint even people who are severely ill, even people who have COVID-19. The whole goal is trying to work with the hospitals to allow us to come in. It's hard sometimes. I was allowed to anoint somebody who was dying from cancer, but my confrere in the parish next door wasn't allowed to go into the emergency room to anoint his parishioner who was elderly and failing. So it depends. It's like we're trying to work with the hospitals as best we can. Also, too, there is the whole concept of general absolution, that in these extreme circumstances that we are allowed to administer, along with what's called the apostolic pardon, which is for the remission of punishment from sin. Because even though we're absolved from sin, there is going to be some sort of consequence of it. I know that I am going to spend many years in purgatory. So, you know what? One of the things that you have to remember too is that even with last rites, that just because God creates a sacrament does not mean that he's limited by it, right? It goes to the old question, can God create a rock so heavy that he can't even lift it? The answer to that question is no, because he can't do anything contrary to his nature. So even if these are extreme times, and if there is a desire and a longing, and the priest is trying to do so, but he's being prevented from doing so, like I think God's grace and his mercy still prevail in those circumstances. It's just like, well, can you get the sacrament of the anointing of the sick? Good luck. We have some lovely parting gifts. Be a crispy piece of bacon for all eternity. Like under normal circumstances, should we be prepared? Absolutely. That's why I'm still offering confessions in my parish right now, from 4 to 4:45 on Saturdays. And so, we're trying to do that as best we can with social distancing. But that's the whole concept of just trying to do what's best.
Yeah.
So, any other questions? Buddy, do you need to go out? Do you go out? My dog needs to go out. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Here's the topic. The Holy Roman Empire was neither holy nor Roman.
It's kind of amazing that
So?
we are that we are very spiritual with Robbie around.
Yeah, that's true.
I think
That is true, Rich.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, well, I have a back door to my office, so I just let him out there, and he'll be back in just a second. I'll have to let him back in.
Okay.
That's it. It happens at least once or twice a podcast. He'll come up to me, Mike, you gotta let me out.
Yeah.
It's better than the alternative.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
The Mike and Kathy show. Thanks, Mom. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Waiting for a major network to pick us up.
Oh yeah, we're going to be waiting a long time.
Well, Mike Walsh always said that he wanted to have us on all together as a podcast. So,
Yeah,
That
we're
would be
doing
funny.
it on our patio.
That would be fun.
Like doing it outside in the patio.
oh, let me tell you, when we are allowed to get back together again, we're just going to have a broadcast at your house with a party, and people are going to come in and out, and there will be adult. No, no,
No.
no.
Not at the party.
No, yeah, maybe not a podcast at the party. Go post
Hey, come on over here! I just
Right.
want to thank everybody. It's finally free. Woo!
Tomorrow.
Yeah, that was. Yeah. Yes, definitely, Carmen. Definitely.
Well, hopefully the weather will be good for barbecue. It may be icicles or something
Oh, I
like
hope
that.
not. I hope
Let
not.
us go.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, I can't handle that.
I know.
So, any other questions? We'll give it a couple seconds for people to respond.
Rob, I've seen let the dog take. All right, Carmen, you're in.
That's a deal. That's a deal.
Done. Thank you. We'll let you know.
Okay, well, folks, thank you so much for joining us for our inaugural Profiles of Faith. Kathy, Mike, thank you for being my first guests. I really appreciate it. You guys did awesome.
It's our pleasure to help the cause.
Love you guys as always. So, next week probably around. Go ahead, Kathy.
I just
Just
said
saying thank you.
thanks to everybody for tuning in and for your great questions and positive comments.
All right, and we will be back with somebody new next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Thursdays at 8 p.m. We'll have our next edition of Profiles with Faith. I am Father Rob Sinatra. This is my sister, Kathy O'Callaghan, and her wonderful husband, Mike, who is my brother-in-law. Signing off. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and go Birds.
Go Birds! Good night.
Good
Good night.